Hey guys,
It's March. You're listening to Hola Bicholas.
Hola Bichola,
Queen of the Rings. Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 6 of Queen of the Rings, the show where March I recap Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. Okay, so what a great episode. Finally some action. Yeah, we were left with a lot of action in this one. But it felt kind of like what I thought the whole season was going to be like. I thought we were going to get a lot of a lot more horse action, a lot less dialogue, a lot more fighting action, a lot less staring and grandstanding. And so we're here. We're finally here. So let's get right into the episode. Okay, so we open up with Adar and his army. And we see these clips, these moments, where it is Adar's fingers. And Adar, doll, you need to get a manicure. I don't understand how you guys live in this time and you have these powers and you can't give yourself a decent mani. It's not that hard. It's just get yourself some clear, at least maybe some clear polish, or maybe like a French tip. That would be nice. Maybe cut up those cuticles, clean the dirt from under your fingernails. Because if you're going to be touching your face and then you're going to be touching your eyes and your mouth, ugh. Yeah, I can also recommend you a good manicurist. Just saying, I could do that for you. And so one of the things that I know I've said this episode and episode over, but the orcs just look so incredible. I just love that I could see all of them individual behind one another, and it just doesn't look like a copy and paste. All of these orcs are very unique looking, uniquely designed. And Adar does have a very special touch, and I appreciate the time he took to create his monsters. We see them basically getting ready to go take over the tower that all of the humans are living in, or the men. And I'm seeing them marching, and they're like, dun, 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 right? And you think they're just like right at the bottom of the hill or at the bottom of the tower. But no, we're watching them zigzag through to get to the tower. And I realized they walked all of that. I'm amazed at their health and their ability to just walk these high above sea level valleys and I want to say ranges, but it's not ranges. It's these hills are just kind of able to get up there without skipping a beat, without missing a breath. I mean, I'm losing my breath just saying that whole sentence without stopping. And finally, they all get in to this tower. And I was really scared at this point. I really was. I really thought they're really going to get the humans or the men's. And then we see that it's Arondir, who is the only one there. And he's using his bow and arrow to kill these orcs. Okay. And I was like, that's all you got? But of course, my men way of thinking, I didn't think like an elf. I should have thought like an elf. And this elf was like, no, we're going to destroy this tower on top of all of them because this is what he wanted anyway. Genius. Because, that place is built like a Yahtzee game. Just take one little rock away and the whole thing crumbles. So it wasn't that hard out on Deed. Okay, don't toot your own horn that much. Oof. Full of yourself much. So, but he still did that. I'll still give it to him, but still like not that big of a deal. So now we're in a boat. And it's Isildur being the litter king he is and just tossing stuff out of the boat. Do they not have like a littering problem out here in this time period or amongst these people? Because I thought littering was just like, you just don't litter. And I cannot unpack littering right now. I cannot unpack trash and nature. I cannot unpack those things no matter how much I want to, but I cannot unpack that. But what I can unpack is literal, and I mean litterer, not literal, little litterer Isildur. Oh my God. That was a tongue twister. So, okay, do you guys remember how in the last episode I told you guys that Isildur has nowhere to go? He just wants to get away. Like, he literally just doesn't want to be where he's at. He wants to just leave, but he has no real passion or desire for elevating his life. He just wants to escape his life. And he literally says at this episode, he goes, I just was trying to get away. That's literally what he said. So I was right. So I would like to be applauded for that. So please send me my applauses because I got that right. And Galadriel's like having a conversation with Isildur, and she's like, she comes up to him and says something, and then his dad comes up, or not his dad, not before his dad comes up, but they're having a conversation, and she's basically like, you look like your mother. And he's like, so Galadriel's having a conversation with Isildur, and she's basically saying like, how do I know you? You look familiar. You must look like your father because I know who he is. And so then he's like, I actually been told I look a lot like my mother. And I thought, his mom was that pretty? Because wow, he is a pretty person. And his mother must have been gorgeous, just gorgeous. And we see that the Menses are heading down to a village. And I'm wondering, is this the same village that Theo was in when the orcs were fighting him the first time? Because I have questions, and I bet you know what my questions are. My question is, why did it seem like they needed to run through so many woods to get to the tower? The village wasn't that far away in the way they made it seem. You know what I'm saying? Like, they made it seem like Arondir was running with Theo through them woods when the orcs were running after them. And I find myself like, what is the placement here? Where are we? Because yo estoy perdida. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that is the same village. So it's kind of like we're back to where the orcs were at. They know this place pretty well. And so, you know, it's kind of quiet here. And I'm kind of waiting for anyone. I'm kind of waiting to hear a shriek, kind of like, the orcs have discovered us. They're coming. Because, I mean, let's be for real. Do we think all the orcs died with the falling Yahtzee Tower? I don't think so. They're going to show up. And I'm expecting them to show up at any minute. At any moment, the shriek is going to come. But alas, it doesn't come yet. And so then we have an elf and a woman. And they're kissing. And they're loving each other because they believe this is probably the last time that they're going to be together in this way. And surely enough, the orcs are back. And, you know, you don't think that the orcs are smart. I got to tell you, I don't think they're very smart, right? And then they manage to always surprise me, right? Because they're fighting with the Menses, and I'm just like, I thought these orcs were much stronger. Why are they fighting so terribly? And it turns out it wasn't even them. It was a ruse. They just took the people, the other dummies, who went to bend the knee, used them as pawns, and then the real ones came out afterwards. And then Adondid shows up, and then before we know it, there are horses trampling through the valleys, and where the horses are with Galadriel, it is daytime, but where the orcs and the Southlands are fighting, it is nighttime. So again, are we in the same day? Are we in the same time period? Are we in the same hour? I don't, these two people aren't talking to each other. You know, they're still fighting, and it looks like Adondid is about to die because Adar has him by the balls, and they come to the rescue. The horses arrive finally, and they're all just like, you know, fighting and sword fighting and doing the sword dance and the fencing. And so finally, Adondid has the Sauron's wand, and he's like running through the woods, and, you know, he's having a chase game with Galadriel, and then Lord Halbrand is chasing after Galadriel, who's chasing after Adar, who has Sauron's wand, and finally she has him, and Lord Halbrand is gonna just, you know, got him with the leg swoop, and he's gonna kill him. And then Galadriel's like, no, come back. Don't leave me. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Because you have to reserve your judgment, you know, all that boring stuff. And he's like, you're right. I should be like not a killer. So they don't kill him. But then we find that Galadriel's having her own moment with Adar, and then she just slices him just a little bit. And I was like, girl, where was this? Because this is what I wanted more from you. More violence, less talking, less staring, less dancing and judo chopping. I wanted to see a little bit more than. And it turns out that Lord Halbrand was the king who was promised. He was the man who was promised to these people of the Southlands. And he came back to take his throne and his honor. And he is here. And so now we're seeing Theo talking to Adondid. And they're basically like, you know, we have the Sauron's wand back. The best way to get rid of it is to give it back to the people who need it, so that they can take it to where they got to go. And I'm assuming that's the people from Numenor. And when he's on his way to do it, he realizes that he doesn't even have the wand. It's a psych out. And now we see that the queen's dream is coming to fruition. She dreamed that there was going to be floods or like water gushing or rushing in. And it turns out that one of Adar's human men's gremlin went back to the tower and, you know, used the wand to open up a flooding gates. And now they all gonna die. They all gonna die because they didn't even bother to check. Because they just thought they had it in the bag, literally. Oh my God. Idiots. I mean, you know. Am I being too harsh? I don't think so. But yeah, so now we find ourselves with them and the rushing of the water. And how are they going to get themselves out of this one? Who's going to save this day? Are they going to run up into the valleys, like up the hills? Like, are they all going to be able to get there in time? There are different kinds of people, different age groups, different kinds of disabilities. Like, not everybody can do this. How is this going to happen? I don't know, but I guess we shall see in the next episode. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've been enjoying the season so far. It's been a really fun watch. It's been easy to watch. It's been a little slow, but it's been easy to watch. And, you know, that might sound snarky sometimes, but I still think it's it's funny, and it's, you know, just like, I really thought this show was going to be something different. And the fact that it's just like this just feels like really cute and adorable and, family friendly at the very least. So, I hope you've enjoyed recapping the show with me and listening, and let me know what you think, or if you've been enjoying this show, if you've been enjoying the recaps, have you been, enjoying your day? Let me know. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. If you want to hit me up on hbxpod at Gmail. If you want to find me on the socials, hit me up on hbxpod on Instagram and Olawichola on TikTok. And until next time, adios.